Demonstrators and police faced off in scattered protests in Los Angeles for a fifth day in a row after ICE deportation arrests on Friday sparked civil unrest. Meanwhile, President Trump continues to defend his decision to activate 700 Marines on top of the deployment of around 2,000 additional National Guard members to manage the demonstrations. The move has enraged the state's politicians, prompting legal action, and has officials questioning the price tag that will come along with it. Tessa Bennett has been following the story and brings us the latest.
Protests over the arrests and deportations of LA community members by ICE officials on Friday continue to wreak havoc on the Los Angeles area, with law enforcement firing rubber bullets and flashbangs into crowds of demonstrators. Police swept through the streets of downtown LA last night to disperse crowds and arrest any lingering protesters. The situation on the ground was exacerbated by President Trump's decision to deploy the National Guard, mobilizing another 2,000 members late in the day yesterday, in addition to those already deployed, as well as activating 700 Marines.
If we didn't get involved, right now, Los Angeles would be burning, just like it was burning a number of months ago with all the houses that were lost. Los Angeles right now would be on fire, and we have it in great shape. And not playing around.
The move faced criticism in a House subcommittee hearing today, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth supporting the $134 million deployment.
Thankfully, unlike the previous administration, we've got a 13% increase in our defense budget, and we will have the capability to cover down on contingencies, which is something the National Guard and the Marine plan for. So we have the funding to cover down on contingencies, especially ones as important as maintaining law and order in a major American city.
California Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass have slammed the president's actions, which were done without the state's consent, filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration in the hopes of having the military retreat. Newsom has also now asked the court to block the National Guard and Marines from assisting with immigration raids in the state going forward.
The decision to use military force in this circumstance is unusual, and I think that what Trump is going to face, I think eventually, particularly if the violence continues and God forbid if people are killed, people are going to ask, even if we understand that the federal government has sort of a general power to enforce its own laws and doesn't depend on state consent to do that, like, did President Trump do everything to avoid this situation?
Despite her opposition to Trump's plan of action to manage the civil unrest in the city, Mayor Bass says the violence and vandalism will not be tolerated.
I do not believe that individuals that commit vandalism and violence in our city really are in support of immigrants. They have another agenda. If you support immigrants and the rights of immigrants to be in our city, you would not be tearing the city apart or vandalizing it.
Other politicians are speaking openly about their thoughts on Trump's choices as well. House Democrats in California held a news conference today after being denied entry to the Roybal Federal Building, with speakers like Nancy Pelosi comparing the situation to the January 6th Capitol riots.
In a bipartisan way, on January 6th, with violence against the Constitution, against the Congress, and against the United States Capitol, we begged the President of the United States to send in the National Guard. He would not do it. A contra-constitutional way, he has sent the National Guard into California. Something is very wrong with this picture.
And the sentiment appears to be spreading, with protests popping up across the country in places like New York City, Atlanta, Kentucky, and Dallas. Tessa Bennett, Trending Now.